Morning, ma'am. This is Sri Chaitanya from Stephen Slot Soft Computing. And firstly, I would like to thank my faculty Subhashini ma'am for giving me the guidance throughout my project and that which helped me to successfully complete my project in a very long run. Now, getting into the presentation of my project title is the cardiac disease prediction using artificial neural network as the main idea. And getting on to the next further thing, the first is the abstract. And for my abstract start with saying that a CVD is, see, cardiac disease is just a disease which is related to the heart for conditions which affect either the blood vessels or any part of the heart in some way. So secondly, the system which I developed will help people to diagnose the probability of the presence of heart diseases, but it doesn't help them in curing it. So it only gives them a warning sign for the prediction of heart disease so that they can put themselves on a safer side without getting into the risk. So thirdly, I would like to say that this diagnosed problem domain is the domain which I have taken from my project. And for this, now I will be working out on a solution by the application of artificial neural networks concept to my dataset. The dataset which I have taken for this project is UCI heart dataset. And this dataset considered has all the symptoms, that is the risk factors which are mostly prone to heart diseases that can cause to a person. And these risk factors are not only the risk factors that which damages the blood vessels, but it is the risk factors which can be considered to all the heart diseases that we can relate in a way. Now, coming to the methodology description, I have 4 stages of methodology description. First is the understanding domain. In the understanding domain, I have taken my UCI heart data set from the Kaggle website from the Google, and that I have taken a Cleveland data set which has a 300 values for the data with 13 columns and 13 attributes, and this is my input for the system that I have been working for now. And data pre-processing, that my system has not much data processing as all the values that I have got in as I have used for my set didn't have any missing values, so there isn't much use for the data pre-processing as well. So getting on to the third module, processing, which is solely depending upon the algorithmic approach that I applied over my system. So I have used k-means clustering. So this k-means clustering is usually used for segregating data for a larger data set, which all of us know, and it doesn't have concern for the specific outcome. And secondly, coming to the fourth thing is the evaluation and deployment. Finally, like after analysis of all the modules and it states information related to the output accordingly, we obtain a system comparison, and with that we conclude the measurable resultants artifacts with this accuracy, F1 measure, precision, and this is our output. And one thing I need to say that my project doesn't solely work upon with the algorithm approach of ANN and k-means clustering, but I have taken few more algorithmic approach just to prove that ANN is so accurate compared to all the other existing algorithms. So in this way, I have clearly implemented ANN with k-means. Along with this, I have also implemented logical regression, which has many other advantages like it is very good for handling a large set of data. Similarly, I have taken other algorithms like the decision trees and KNN and along with the need base. Now, this is my general architecture. Patient's data, which is the data set, is my input, and data pre-processing is already done as I did not have any missing values in my data. And now here, this ANN classifier and the k-means clustering gives us the cluster data. Along with this, the neural network works for the matrix form, and now output is compiled and concluded with the high precision and accuracy. And the last step is the presentation and the visualization of the output. So my software requirement, I have done my project in the MATLAB, and the reason for me choosing this MATLAB as my main software thing was I already have a little experience working on the environment. So I have chosen MATLAB, and these are my hardware requirements. In coming to the data set, I have used UCI heart disease dataset, and this UCI heart disease dataset, which I got from Kaggle website in the Google, and this has all the attributes which are namely the risk factors for a person to easily get prone to the heart disease. So my database has a 303 patients data, and this have two attributes prediction, their age and sex. And now getting in detail to the 13 attributes that I have been considering from the dataset from my project is age, sex, chest pain type, resting blood pressure, serum cholesterol, fasting blood sugar. In all these are the attributes which I have been talking about, the 13 attributes or the 13 columns of the dataset. Now this is a sample pic. In here, as you all can see that I have 13 things starting from A to M are the 13 columns, which are namely the attributes for a person, I mean the risk factors, but whereas the 14th one is the target output, which we will be considering for comparison. Now, these are all the reference papers that I have been taking. So the first thing is written by the Ashok Kumar Trivedi, and this title is the performance evaluation of different. And it has used ANN, SVM, and KNN as its main methodology, and its accuracy is 85%. And similarly, my second research paper is about prediction of heart disease using neural network. And this has the accuracy of 90%. And this was authored by Tulay Karayan. And similarly, my third reference paper is the risk prediction of ischemic heart disease using the artificial neural network. And this was written by Rehan Parchai Kumar, Muhammad Mandal, Tanwir, Pramila Ghosh, and few others as a combined effort. And here also ANN is used. And this accuracy is 87%. And fourth is the framework of the automatic detection of heart diseases written by Chandrasekhar. And this has the main methodology of gradient descent, Klevenberg, and ANN also. So this has again accuracy of 19%. And my last final research paper was about an efficient convolution neural network for coronary heart disease, which is written by Anirudh Datta. And it has CNN and LASSO, and this accuracy is 80%. So I just concluded with all my reference as an inference that every paper has, in some or the other way, has ANN for either the classification, or some have ANN for the input variables, or some have ANN for tools and like for computational libraries. And few paper had ANN with the gradient descent for getting more accuracy. So I can conclude that there is one technology which is commonly used by all the references that I have taken into consideration is the artificial neural network. So with this, I have come to the conclusion of decision that I will be including ANN in my project to get a probable decent accuracy for my project. And this is my inference. And now getting into the in-depth process flow of my ANN with k-means. Here it is the first step, get the data from the data set. And the next step is performing the k-means clustering from the values 1 to 15. Now, once the optimal k value is drawn by the help of Selihote process, we perform the clustering for optimal k value. And for this, we define the training set and testing set. For the training set, we take the 75% of data, which is 225 out of 300. And testing set, we take 25% of the data, which is 75 people out of 300. So now the next step is finding the optimal number of neurons. And for this, we take a random number of neurons, say from 1 to 70. And within that, we calculate the optimal number of neurons. And then we train the ANN with the optimal number of neurons in hidden layers. Then we perform the testing with artificial neural network. With this, we perform the calculation and get the accuracy for our system done. Now, I have also said you that I have taken few more algorithms for comparison. So these are the algorithms that I have taken. One is the KNN, second is the naive Bayes, and third is the decision tree, and this is logical regression and ANN with k-means. So as you all know that KNN is a simple supervised machine learning algorithm which is done by finding the distances between a query, and all the examples in the dataset that we have taken. Similarly, coming to the naive Bayes is also simple, but yet it is very effective and commonly used, and it has a pretty good accuracy. But only thing which is problem with naive Bayes is it is little imbalanced while handling with a large data set. But this model is very easy to build, and it also useful for very large set because it can solve and read a very large data set values very easily. But there can be few issues with the accuracy as the data speed is so high. Now, getting to the decision trees, it is a non-parametric supervised learning method, and this process, which involves in decision tree, is it breaks down the data set into smaller and smaller subsets, while at the same time, there'll be an association decision tree, which is incrementally developed with that to process the data and gives us the output. And logical regression, which actually predicts the categorical outcomes in the binomial form or the multinomial forms. So the predictions of logical regression are always in the form of probability of occurrence, and this is the formula that we use for a logical regression. Now, ANN with k-means, which I discussed earlier, is just briefly explained in this slide. Now, this is the snapshot of my implementation with ANN with k-means and implementation of logistic regression, KNN, decision tree, naive Bayes, and random forest. And this is the error histogram that I have plotted. And this is the implementation of neural network. And here is the accuracy and precision and recall, which I have got. As you can see that the accuracy of the ANN or precision in the recall of ANN with k-means is comparatively high, which I just made it bold in the table. You can observe and conclude that ANN with k-means is an effective approach for my data set, and that is my motive of the project. So as you can see in the results and discussion, that the graph plotted for ANN with k-means has the higher values when compared to all the other approaches. So I would like to conclude that my main aim of the project, which is to prove that the ANN with k-means has the highest accuracy of solving my data set when compared to all the other, is successfully done, as you can see here in the comparison box. Now, this conclusion gives me that as heart patients are growing every year, now there is a very immediate need raised in the medical sector just to get many methods as soon as possible in a very effective way, so that the people are given warned by the in a very earlier stage, so that they can take care of themselves, and the death rate is also reduced with this. So I have designed my system along with the ANN and k-means clustering with an accuracy of 87.33. And these are my references. So and this is my implementation part, as I told you. And here this is for ANN and k-means clustering. As you can see that here I have read the matrix, and this is my data set, okay. Now, before getting into the implementation of my project, I am here to show my dataset, and this for 13 columns from A to M are the attributes which are there in my dataset, and the 14th column is the target. So now getting into the implementation. So here at first I have read the matrix for the value M, and also I have Okay, so as you can see that here I have just given all the attributes, and then for y I have read from the 14th column, which is the target column, and for this I have taken 1 to 13, which are the attributes, and for j equals to 1 to 13, which are the 13 columns in my data set. And here I am now processing the k-means clustering for finding the optimal k value. And here the optimal k value is being done by the process of Silvertip process. So in this clustering, which I have given the function k-means for the k-means clustering, and here in the Silvertip process, I will be taking one centroid point from all the values, 300 values, and from each and every respective point, I will be calculating the mean values to the centroid point, and that values will be stored here. And now here in this part, I'm giving a condition for the values which I have gotten as output to get the optimal k value. So for every loop condition, the k value gets updated, and finally the k value which does this will be our optimal k value. And here we are just, and here in this we are assigning the k value, and in this thing I'm just defining the matrix which I have taken. Now coming to the training thing, and here I am just assigning the, I'm just defining the training set, which is 75%, which is 225%, or like 225% from 300% of my data set. And this is the assigning of the training set I have completed. And as you can see that I have given a command called random, which means that all the values from the data set will be taken in the random permutation manner. This is, I have done this because if we take it in a very orderly manner, we can't filter much values and we don't get accurate output. So for this, I have taken random permutation command. And in this command, as you can see that I have taken okay. Here for train set, I have given the command m of num array, where this gives the first 13 columns, whereas for y train, I have given only y, which is the target thing. And again, here in the test set, I have assigned the test set of 25% from the data set, which is 75%. And similarly, here in this, I have assigned the test set where m of num array stores the input values of 13 columns, whereas this y of num array stores the 14th column target as input. And now our main task to find the optimal neural value. For this, I am doing root mean square. So for root mean square, I have taken maybe a considerable values for neurons, which is 70 neurons. So for 1 to 17, I am now calculating the optimal size of the neuron by training this network values in the actual values I will be getting, and using the feed forward network. Here I am using a feed forward network because for implementation of ANN in the MATLAB, it can be not done directly. So firstly, we should train the network and then test the network. And by using the feed forward network with a multi-layer perceptron, I am taking one hidden layer. So for this, I'm doing the feed forward network in this process. So feed forward network, I am just giving a direct command. And this line gives the ratio of the training set that it should consider. And here train RP. Train RP is the command which is be given for application of back training with the back propagation algorithm, so which I used here. Now, after all this is done, Y-train will store the values of the network values, whereas the Y-train 2 will have the actual values. Now, for calculating RMS train, I'll be making the square root of mean of Y-train minus Y-train 2 to the whole square. So this is the formula for calculating root mean square. But for root mean square, we will be calculating for all the 70 neurons, but the neuron which has the least root mean square will be our optimal neuron value. So here I am taking a random sum of 200 and I gave a condition. If the sum is greater than RMS, then the sum will be equals to RMS and k equals to I. That is which keeps updating till all the 70 neurons are done, and the value which is stored at k after the end of all like whole loop will be our optimal value. Now, once that we got the optimal hidden layer value as k, we'll be just declaring the k value as hidden layer size, and here xtr will be the training set and ytr will be the y train. And again, we'll be implementing the feed forward network. And like previously, we are implementing feed forward network to the training set and the network values, but here we will be including the same with the optimal k value which we got for the hidden layer neutrons, and we'll be doing the same with the input 13 columns, 13 column attributes and the target output here. So here at last, after training and testing is done, so here in this we are just determining the ratio of training to be done and the ratio of testing to be done. So after this, here the training is done, which is given by the command train RP, because we are doing this with the back propagation algorithm. Lastly, we'll be calculating the accuracy for the whole methodology. So now let me run and show you. You can see that the training is being continued when I run the program. So now that we get the hidden layer value as 63, and you can see that we have got accuracy as 87.3256 and precision of 86 and recall as 89, which we have earlier seen our table. Now getting to the next methodology, logistical regression. Similarly, here I have defined the matrix, and again for the y value I have taken the target column, and for the m I have taken the 13 attributes, and here I have declared and defined the matrix. And as we discussed in the earlier methodology, here I am just defining the train set with the 75% of the values, which is 225 values. And again, here I am assigning the train set, where the train set will have 1 to 13 column input values, and y train will have the 14th column input values. And similarly, here test set is being defined with the 25% of the values of the data set, which is 75 in number. And similarly, here I am defining the test set, where the test set will have 1 to 13 array columns inputs array, and whereas the y test will have the target numbers, the 14th column. And here for this logistical regression, as I said while explaining in the PPT, we'll be taking the categorical one. So I have used the command categorical. So here B is the coefficient of the values, and we will be doing MNR fit to fit the logistical regression to the values that we are using in the data set. And here, as you can see, the testing is being done for predicting the test results. And here, H test set, the formula for this, okay, the H test set is given by 1 by 1 plus e power minus x, which is a formula for logistic regression, which we earlier discussed in PPT. So here what is being done is the B coefficients are being multiplied with the inputs, and then they are being stored in the H test as the test results. Now y test spread is given the condition H test less than 0.5, which means that the significant values which we obtain in the H test are refiltered for being stored in the test bed. So all the significance values which are having which are less than 0.5 will be stored in y test spread. So according to that, accuracy testing will be the mean of double of y test spread equals to y test into 100. So similarly, here I have just declared true y and y out with the true values and the output values of the training, and I have given formulas for precision and recall. So when I run this, you can see that accuracy testing is 84 and true positive is 37, precision is 80, and recall is 92. So like logistical regression is one such thing which is very good for handling large set of data set. But one thing I can say is, but ANN gives us very accurate results and it can also deal so speed and well with the large data set. So this is giving a pretty good accuracy, but it is not much more than the ANN with the k-means. So along with this, I have also implemented KNN, as you can see here, and DT, NB, and RAND. So when I run this, you can see that KNN has accuracy of 57, DT has 74, and NB has 84. So as I said you, NB is also very good at accuracy, but only thing is the data speed is high, so there can be little imbalance or clumsiness in the output which we receive. So it is not much recommended. So, but when it is used with a hybrid approach, then that can work well for sure. And this the precision and recall for KNN, and 73 and 65 is precision and recall for decision label. And NB is NB has precision of 84 and recall of 78. Now this I have directly used the functions from the MATLAB for KNN, DT, and NB. So here is the functions that I have used for naive Bayes. This is the function for naive Bayes. This is for KNN, and this is for decision table. So as you can see, like after showing all the implementation, I can tell you that the accuracy which we got by implementing ANN with the k-means clustering will give us the highest accuracy. So this is my whole project which I was supposed to explain you that. I was just using all the other algorithms for comparing that the ANN with k-means clustering works best for my dataset which I considered. And this has the highest accuracy of 87.8256, and this is the implementation. Thank you.